Growing up, I was often drawing and I was often writing. And once I started working in ecological restoration and having a more intimate relationship with the land that I was on, it really opened the floodgates for a lot of the illustration that I realized I wanted to do, the poetry I wanted to be writing. My name is Laurie McDowell, and I'm the 2026 Steve Kemp Writer in Residence here in Great Smoky Mountains National Park. I'm an ecological illustrator and a poet, and that's what I'm bringing to this residency and what I'm really excited to bring to this residency. This plant is incredible. Through the illustration, I'm trying to see the world around me. I'm pulling out some of the details of a specific plant or a specific bloom or an interaction between a bloom and a pollinator. And the poetry really ties it into the reality of where we're living. I focus on the land that I'm in and the relationship I have with it, and that brings in the ecological context, it brings in the historical and social and cultural context of that place, and then blend it all into that is my own experience of it. Outside of my art, I practice ecological restoration and land stewardship, and I get to do that right now at a park in one of the country's most urban areas in New York City, where I help steward a few meadows and some gardens. I grew up between eastern Kentucky and western North Carolina, so I've called Appalachia my home for my whole life, so it's really an incredible and special opportunity to be able to come here for all these weeks and have the resources afforded to me by Smoky's life and the park. Part of seeing the collections that Smoky's life has access to has been seeing these other artists, particularly WPA artists from the 1930s, who were brought to the park to do a lot of art and a lot of botanical illustration. Being a part of that line of work is really beautiful, and it's interesting to see how their processes were probably very similar to what I'm doing today. I normally go out into the field and bring either a sketchbook or a roll of paper and normally a field guide, especially when I'm in a place that's so rich as this. And I'll go out and normally it'll take me about 3 or 4 hours to get through a mile of a hike, but that's just because I'm stopping and drawing so often, especially in such a fresh place in spring or a time when a lot of flowers are blooming. I'm stopping a lot. Whenever I notice a specific plant or insect or tree bud that I wanna draw, I'll stop, unpack my gear, cut out a section of paper, and do a little quick in situ sketch of it, so that I can bring that back later and draw it into maybe a more refined pen and ink or watercolor drawing. While I'm out, I'm also trying to take notes about what plants I'm seeing together, what insects are there as well, so that I can build out an entire community and learn for myself. But also then in the drawings and when I'm talking about them, I'm able to convey the whole ecosystem a little bit more than just an individual drawing of one specific plant that's kind of on this white frame. In the poetry, I do pretty similarly. When I'm outside, I am taking notes of things that come to me, or words that I remember from a poem that I read in the past or a song lyric, and trying to meld that with what I know and what I'm learning about the place that I'm in. Being in the place that I grew up is also so special because I have so many memories that come flooding back. So with the poetry, I'm taking notes when I'm out in the field, and then when I come back, I'm more synthesizing that, adding the layers to it that I think it deserves and that I would want someone to be able to experience when they read it. So this is the part of the process where I work more on the finished drawings with pen and ink. So I've gone from something like one of the pencil sketches and have kind of composed those onto larger sheets of paper that fit more nicely than these that are done in the field. Sometimes it's really nice to do this out in the park itself rather than indoors. And yeah, it'll either be pen and ink or a combination of pen and ink or watercolor.